welcome back to Super Monday edition. Dane and I still kind of enjoying last night's trifecta, if you will. Of course, Kenny stopping by, and end of the night with Joel, an amazing artist and influence on the community. Dane has an event tonight, but I get to do the thing that I always love to do. I love doing studio work. I love kind of getting to sit down and pick our guest brains and all that. And there's a special one tonight. We've been following for a long while and wanted to wait till we could do her justice with the show. Khortni Kamyron, she's an amazing fighter, bare knuckle, something that's a whole nother level of just talent and respect and dedication. Been doing it her way, which I love. We'll get into that here in a little bit, but been fighting on her terms, her way, and the brand that she creates is a role model that anybody could look up to, doing a great job to showcase the sport and to really be an ambassador for these ladies out there up and comers. So before I start fanboying out, let me get into it and bring on Khortni Kamyron. Khortni, how are you today, my friend?
I'm doing quite well, thank you. How are you?
I'm awesome. It's even better. It's an honor to get to pick your brain and to really kind of talk shop with you. Like I said, you've left a mark on us, and I can't wait to kind of dive into it. So I've got some questions
Yeah.
that we've kind of cultivated over the years. Obviously, before kind of becoming that household name, taking on the mantle, working in what you're doing with bare knuckle, there's got to be maybe some early on memories, fights, training. Take me back maybe in the day to when you got the itch to start doing this.
Actually, I never intended on fighting. It was never something that was on my radar. My daughter, when she was younger, she started taking jujitsu classes at a local gym with a friend, and the owner, he offered me to go lift weights, do whatever I wanted to do while she was in class. Um, and then a friend of mine one night, she asked if I would do a kickboxing class with her. So I did and just loved it, right? Like it just kind of came naturally to me. Um, and then I just got this wild hair and I wanted to try the state tournament, the Muay Thai tournament, just to kind of see. And I fought a girl that had had like 8 fights at the time, and it was my first one ever. And so I didn't, I didn't get knocked out or anything like that, but I definitely did not win that fight.
Gotcha.
Um, yeah, so then I kind of just I was like, all right, cool. Like one and done. I did the thing, I could say I did it. And I just went back to doing the classes and having fun with it. And then probably about a year and a half after that, my coach came to me and he was like, "Hey, so I signed you up for a fight and you're fighting in 3 weeks." And I was like, "Oh,
Okay,
okay,
let's go.
sure."
Yeah.
Right? Like, and so there was like really no time to get nervous or anything like that. So I just went in and did it. And I won and I did very well. Um, and then it just like another opportunity would come and then another opportunity would come. And so I'm like, sure, like let's just keep going with it. And it is literally just snowballed into what this is.
Yeah, yeah, that's so cool. So, and again, I say this with the actual utmost respect. People, every interview we've ever done, I always like to say, ordinary people that take and do extraordinary things, right? Hearing you say that you started off doing classes, that's cool because, like, I know, people whether it's younger than myself or older, whatever age they are, maybe they're not thinking about down the road. It's like right now, what it turned into for you, like literally, that's so cool. Now you're a top
Yeah.
competitor, and I mean, just getting it out, and it's just that's crazy the avalanche effect of just taking it one step at a time. It's cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's still mind blowing for me even because like I'll go to like local MMA events and stuff like that and every once in a while someone will be like, "Oh hey, I know who you are." And I'm like, I'm just me, I'm just it's
Cool.
just Courtney." And
That's
they're like, "Yeah,
cool.
but I saw your fight."
Well, they call that they call that a lady of the people. Like I said, you got some notoriety and success, and I love it that you're still kind of mixing it up. That's really cool. So,
Yeah.
when you think about the fights, obviously that first win, I'm sure that's got to be like a benchmark, but maybe like a sparring session or like one of those like wow moments for you. Like I said, we all have had those moments in our life where it's like, ah, this got me hooked. Has there been maybe a favorite fight? Even maybe it's a training session that you've had so far. It's been like this has been, even though it's all been fun, possibly for you, like that's been your favorite moment so far in doing this?
So I have two, and one of them is my last amateur fight. It was a MMA title fight, and I really was nervous for this fight because the competition, incredible, like
Yeah.
a world champion karate striker, like, and so it was a huge challenge for me to step in with somebody of that caliber. And I ended up fighting all 5 rounds with her. I found a good game plan. Like I was able to strategize within the fight, and I was winning the fight up until I didn't win the fight because I got knocked
Right.
out in the very last second. So it was just pivotal for me because I challenged myself for that one, and I did 5 rounds with one of the best strikers in the United States, I feel like. So I was happy for that one. And then the other one is my pro debut, which was October of last year. That was my bare knuckle debut, my professional fighting debut. I got to do it at home in Colorado with, the hometown crowd on this massive card, massive platform. And I went out there and I was able to put on a really good show. It was like the
Yeah.
peak, right?
Yeah.
Like I set the bar so high, I'm having a hard time catching that bar again. But yeah, that was the moment where I was like, oh my gosh, like it was 4 years to the day after I took my first fight, like my first card fight. And it just really meant a lot to me because I was like, I'm here. Like I
Yeah.
got here. I did it. And so I was crying, that whole week, like just super thankful and happy because I had finally made it to this point that I
Yeah.
never even thought was a reality in the first place.
And there's such a all that hard work, and it's cool. And that's kind of like I said, where I had as we were prepping for this, even in the months prior to reaching out to you, I had saw that, and it's really cool. And it's well earned. The work ethic, and that's the thing where we tell our athletes or even the musicians, whoever we're working with, look at that 4 year span. It didn't happen overnight. Like you had to put 4 years into it, never knowing if it was going to get, obviously preparing for it, right? But then to be all like, well deserved, I earned this. It's not this TikTok 15-second instant microwave thing. It's like you put 4 hard years into the octagon to come out there like, that's crazy. So just well earned, well deserved. I love it. So
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, like you said, kind of setting that benchmark high. Obviously, the prep stuff. I know Miranda said this, and Jade, and really all the ladies we spoke to. Is there a sweet spot for you? I hear 8 weeks or so. Is about your sweet spot for a fight, or?
Yeah, 6 to 8 weeks generally. There's kind of gives us good time to really perfect some technique, really get that
Hmm.
cardio dialed in, get your body performing at the peak performance. But I've taken a fight on as little as 8 days notice before, just
Stay ready, huh? Yeah,
just because. Yeah, so and it was cool. So optimum time 6 to 8 weeks, but
gotcha.
we'll
Yeah.
go we'll go whenever.
Yeah, be ready through the fire. I love it because you're ready to go through the fire at any time. I love it. Influence wise, and like I said, it's cool. When I approached you, I meant everything I said. I love this influence you're leaving on the next generation of female athletes as you're still in your prime. But like the female inspiration or anyone really, you're doing it your way, your brand, doing it with your heart and your mind, and your fist. Right? We've talked about that. The influence is widely like, cast in the shadow. There's got to be maybe a trainer or two like that's kind of influenced you. Who's been that mentor or two for you in your career?
Um, it's been different at different stages of my career, I think. My first coach that I had, he's the one that saw something that, I was capable of doing these things. He's the one that came to me and was like, "Hey, so you're gonna fight."
Yeah,
Um, so that was um there's a little meaning there, for that one. He did a lot for me and helped me kind of get my feet in the ground. And since then, I've moved to a new team. And I think everybody at that facility that I've been training with, they all bring something different to this. I don't know what to call it, like this
yeah,
stew of greatness that we have going on. And they're all compassionate people, and we all push each other to be better.
yeah.
One day I'm going to be the worst person in the room, the next day, my training partner is going to be the worst person in the room, but we're constantly leveling up, we're constantly helping each other. um So, and the coaches there have treated me very well since I've been there. So, yeah,
Yeah.
my entire team right now.
It takes a whole village to make a fight. I get it, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and I think that's it's cool. Like even though it's an individual sport to an extent, that's only like on fight day. All the prep
Mhm.
and the months of training and the nutritionist and all that. Like it's really just as much of a team sport, really, as anything else. And then, I think that's cool to hear
Yeah.
too, because a lot of times we'll have people say, "Man, I don't want to be out there by myself." And then hearing that there is a full support system to help you,
Mhm.
that's also very very encouraging too. So, I
Yeah,
love that.
absolutely.
So I know, as far as kind of moving into what's next, I know you, obviously we try to, there's so many cool ways to now promote yourself. The next 6 months or maybe even a year, what's on the horizon for you for your brand, upcoming fights, anything on the horizon you can share yet with us or on that?
So there's nothing set in stone right now. I'm waiting to hear back on a potential short notice fight, just to fill in for somebody. Um, but I'm not holding my breath for that one just because, it's very short notice. I was hoping to fight again before the end of the year, with gloves, but we'll
Yeah,
see,
yeah,
if the opportunity comes or not. And as far as next year goes, I'm always been really big on just seeing what opportunities come my way and just doing what makes sense for, myself at the time. Ultimately, I we're building the division in BKFC for the 135 pounders. Um, so long-term goal, want to earn my way to title contention in that division because there's never been a title holder,
right.
in that division. So I want to be the first title holder, or I want to be one of the first to fight for that title. Um, and again, long term,
Yeah,
whatever it
yeah,
takes to earn my way that way. Um, so we'll see what they offer me if they, want to have me back again.
yeah.
I'm a free agent at the moment, so I can
I
just
love
kind
that.
of
Yeah.
do whatever.
I love it. It's neat to see, like you said, and that's what I tell. I go back to why not plan for? That's great. I'm planning for a championship, planning for a title. That's the way you should live everything you do. Whether it's someone that's into music or acting or athletics, whatever it is, plan for the best. Like don't just okay. That's I love that about you. There's just a quiet storm of drive about you. I don't know how all you fighters are so calm when you're such beasts inside the ring. It's like maybe you leave it all inside. I don't know, but you're so calm and it's cool. So.
Oh,
Um,
thank you.
there's a segment, Courtney. Like I said, I come to that point every episode. Everybody cracks up. We have a pretty good track record with this. We make a lot of laughs. In the show, over the years of doing this, our fans are amazing. From like Aruba to Finland, worldwide, they'll send us questions in. It's called rapid fire. So this is a really neat, like different thing, maybe than the interviews past of what you've done. Now, me and Dane, we have 5 questions they give us, and now we bet on what we think you're going to say. So we already have our
Okay.
bets. He sent me his picks. I have them. And I think I know what you're going to say. First off, it's kind of a personality test type thing.
Okay.
Now, I'll preface this. We love all the people that we mentioned in this. They're all great, but it's more like a Rorschach test for you of who you'd pick in these situations. Imagine
Okay.
if someone's passed away, they can come back to life for the segment. Reality doesn't exist. Okay. So,
Okay. Okay.
first question. Next year, calling you up. Hey, I want you to do a fight. We're going to bring you back for a headline. We're going to put you on the fight card. And you're going to do like a UFC. At that point, whatever number it is, you're coming back. Here's the thing. You're not doing a traditional fight. You're not doing MMA, anything like that. You're called up to do a first ever Rock'em Sock'em. Remember the old school Rock'em Sock'ems back in
Yeah.
the day, like the
Yeah.
machines? So this is the thing. Somehow it's going to be like almost like a real steel thing. They're going to be giants. You got to control them. And you're on one side, and your opponent, you can pick from these two legendary ladies. You can go with Nunez or Cyborg, or Nunez, forgive me, Nunez or Cyborg as your opponent in this Rock'em Sock'em tournament. Who are you going against?
Nunes.
Let's go. I had you. I did. Yep. I
Yeah.
thought so. Dane had Cyborg, so I'm one up on him. I love it. So I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought so. Like just from following, and that'd be a cool matchup. That'd be kind of neat to see. Kind of in there and do your thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. So second question, you're also another kind of these interesting celebrity kind of like interesting games. They plant you into the Marvel comic book universe. You're dropped into it, and you're in a movie. You're in the Avengers. I don't know, and they say, "Hey, there's a scene we want you to do." They come over and say, "We need you to do this epic fight scene." And your fight scene is you got to square off against one of these two people in a game of epic tic tac toe. So you're doing an epic tic tac toe
Okay.
event, and your opponents you can go against Jean Grey or Storm both amazing leading ladies in X-Men. Who are you going against?
Oh, Storm.
Let's go. All right, I'm 2 for 2. I knew it. I had you. I got it. The quiet storm thing, I got it. So I'm crushing Dane. He's 0 for 2. So the next
Oh,
question. We're going back to the 90s. You're transplanted with who you are, the notoriety, the thing, your skill set. And this was a big thing in the 90s for like old school wrestling where they'd have celebrities tag team with current
yeah.
wrestlers and stuff. So they say, hey, we want you to tag team with one of these two guys in a mixed tag team championship. Okay. And you can decide to run with old school Hollywood Hulk Hogan, or you can side with Macho Man as your tag team partner in this championship tag team. Who are you going with?
Macho Man, Randy
I
Savage.
Okay, I did not have that one. That's my first one. So okay, so 3 for 4.
Only just because my dad, he always like
Yeah,
says
that was
the,
his.
with the
Oh
beef
yeah,
jerky stick.
the Slim Jim. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
let's
bro.
go. Let's go. I love it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Very cool. So I had you for Hulk Hogan. That's okay. But again, just personality test. Dane had Macho Man. So two more of these. So next question. They're doing again. They're popping off with these celebrity things. There's going to be a ESPN celebrity dodgeball tournament. Now, here's the thing. Your camp's going against the team of Adam Sandler has the Happy Madison team. It's like him, the guy from Groundball's Boy, their squad, right? It's your fight camp going against them. What they don't tell you is you don't get to use traditional dodgeballs. What you have to use is you can go with old school hot potatoes and foil. So you can have hot foil potatoes, or B, you can go with a whole bushel of rotten crab apples as your weapon. They're like your ball. Hot potatoes and crab apples. Which one you go with?
Ooh, hot potatoes.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Yeah, I had you on that, but that's a good question. That's from somebody in Idaho. That makes sense. Got it. Okay, so
I feel like a hot potato might hurt a little bit more.
Got you. So last one. This is kind of a defying physics one. So also going back to the fight cards, and you called up to do another fight. A lot of fight card stuff tonight, but they say we want to do something that's going to be defying gravity, and you can choose. So you're going to do this almost like an epic cinematic movie scene style. Your fight is going to debut, and you can do it on the top of a. Now you're not going to get hurt. Somehow they figure it out, but you're not going to get hurt. But you can do it on the top of a moving train. You can do your fight on the top of a moving train, or B, you can do it as you're free falling out of a plane doing this fight against somebody else. It's going to be like a free falling out of a plane fight, or top of a train. Train or plane, which one you go with? Yeah.
Oh, a free fall or a train? That's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say free fall.
That's going to be a crazy fight scene right there. It's like you're trying to like tap them out as
Yeah.
you're like floating through the air, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. There's no
Gotcha.
leverage, no weapons.
Yeah.
You're literally just,
Yeah, it's free falling.
yeah.
Gotcha. Very good. So I had that one. So I went 4 for 5. I beat Dane. Dane sent my lunch. Call it a day. So awesome.
Nice.
So thank you, Courtney. Hopefully, again, and that's one of our benchmark things. Hopefully, in interviews or press, it's a little something different that you haven't had before. So
Yeah,
awesome.
definitely. I like that. It's a lot
Very
of fun.
cool. Very cool. So the final segment, as we try to give you some time and respect it back in your day, we kind of end it with something that's called open mic. And every time, I don't care who it is, artist, athlete, novelist, every one of you have this drive about you that makes you tick, makes you want to go out and do what you want to do. Obviously, I know that your coach nudged you to do that, but if you're to go back and maybe give your beginning self or someone that wants to step in your shoes one day some wisdom or piece of advice, what would you tell maybe your beginning self? You know?
I would tell my beginning self to have faith in myself,
Okay.
that we're all capable of doing amazing, incredible things. We just have to believe in ourselves.
That's good. And I see that you've done just that and then some, you know.
Yeah.
So I wrote down some lessons of things you've said throughout the episode, of course, through the fire, believing in yourself, having the faith in yourself. Like I said, ordinary people with all love doing extraordinary things. I see that from you. And then just believing that you can do it. And now you went from, I went back and made a note of this, from your first fight, that 4 year span, making it to where you were and in your debut, and then now chasing championships. That's such a cool story and arc, all while doing it your way at your pace, you know. So
Yeah.
wow.
Thank you.
Wow, Racket, I love it. Well, Courtney, again, it's an absolute honor to have done this. Please let it be known, open invitation. We'd love to have you back, maybe in the future for another episode.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. We'll definitely stay in touch. I hope that this has been, refreshing. It's been a great thing for us. So we'll make sure to get this out to the world as soon as we can. I'll give you some time back in your day, but let's be sure to stay in touch and do it again soon. Okay. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
of course, my friend, we'll be in touch. Have a great day.
All right. You
Yep.
too.
So guys, I'm telling you, there's a inspiration. There's a quiet storm. I talk about the trial by fire. I talk about coming in and doing something. And I remember like I've had local buddies that say that they ran their first marathon, or MMA being a very important part of our movement these days. Softballers, basketballers, musicians, people that say, "Hey, I want to pick it up and I want to do something." There's something about just saying, "Hey, I'm going to take it one day at a time." One day turns to two, get that first little win under your belt, and then it turns into like almost it's a career now. So whether it is your dream to follow in the steps of MMA, maybe you want to follow the path of basketball, maybe it is sports, maybe it's not. Again, as we've said before, maybe it's a doctor, maybe you want to be a teacher. You have to take each day and believe in yourself. That's something I keep hearing over and over again. Every artist, every athlete, every guest we've ever had, they have that drive. No one has to push them. They do it for themselves. So that's something that I can't say enough about. I have much respect for Khortni. If you haven't watched her fight, you're missing out. Go back and all over YouTube, of course, on her page, on Instagram or Facebook. Watch what she's doing. An amazing asset and a addition to the sport, to the genre. I have no doubt she'll be a champion in no time. So, guys, that was a fun one for us. Something we want to do for a long time. That'll actually end our interviews for today. Tomorrow we've got CJ stopping by from Hill Country Revival, and then we'll have our buddy Scott Towery, a pro fisherman, stopping by, and then we'll end the week on Wednesday night with Coach Alden, a great softball mind and presence. So lots of good stuff to come this week. Don't forget, as always, that we love you, and as Dane would say, thank you for listening.